Thank you, Beth. I see the live stream. Mandy, can you hear me? There you go.
I'll start and then I'll let Matt continue. So we have reached out to 4 vendors to do a beta
Oh, that's
test.
the GPS. I'm talking about the app first.
Oh,
Next
I'm
is the
sorry.
GPS. That's
Nope,
okay.
sorry. I'll let Matt take this one then.
Any enhancements on the app, the app itself that we need to share today?
There's really no updates. We touched base with them like a month ago. They were still working on a bunch of off-season things, so we'll reach back out again soon and see where they're at on some of them. It seemed like some of them were ready to go when we checked about a month ago, and I really haven't seen them pop into the map when I've looked at it recently. So they might need a little nudge again, but I'm confident they're working on them. It's just a matter of getting them released on the public
Okay.
map. So
So Ruth can put Matt to nudge them again.
yes.
Okay, thank you, Matt. All right, now we're talking about the GPS units in the pilot. So what do you guys got to share on that? That's it. That's a Matt or Mandy.
So we have reached out to 4 vendors to do the beta testing. We've determined the areas and the clubs that we're going to do the beta testing in, and we have a couple more. We've met with 2, still waiting to hear back from 2 others. So as soon as we have more information on that, we will present and share that with everybody.
Actively work. Anything, Matt, to add, or is that pretty much it? Pretty much it.
Just a kind of a thought on it. I was up in the Adirondacks this last weekend at a friend's cabin, and he'd set up the new Starlink Mini, $5 a month, and we were getting good reception up there and using the maps and everything off that. I mean, if you put that in a clubhouse or something, you could easily download from it. I mean, it's really slow, but it worked really good. And $5 now, I think it's like 400 to set it up, but man, you can't really beat $5 a month.
Yeah, but that's just the connection.
That's
right?
just the
That's-
connection. That's why I'm saying,
yeah.
going back to, we talked about a phone type thing or something like that. Yeah, that's just a connection. That's not the device.
Yeah.
That's just a connection
Okay.
back into it.
Yeah, good thought. Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing, Mike.
My son has that, and he travels all over the state with it in his pickup, and he never is without internet service or connection ever.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. It's always good to get other thoughts out there too. All right. Mandy, anything new on the clothing?
I've been working on the financial analysis and I'm getting closer. Some movement has been made. So I'm going to keep plugging away at that, and I'm hoping to present some more information at the next meeting once I've had a chance to have it all collected together.
All right. Any questions on the first 4 items for anybody before we move on to the standing stuff? Because I know we're going to get involved with that. So we good on the first 4 items? All right. So clubs in good standing or not in good standing based on last month's meeting. And I'll tell you, we sent out, Cindy and I worked on the at-risk letters for the 3 clubs. And those went out July 9th, just to recap. And then we worked on, after the last board meeting, the not in good standing with the motion and the ability to present tonight. We sent that out, I believe, August 1st, that Friday, immediately following the last board meeting. So that's the information that went out with the steps. I have on the agenda, just sort of point of reference for everybody before we start letting the clubs talk, what the action items were for the motion. In case you don't have the agenda in front of you, I'm just going to highlight quickly. One was to express in written correspondence to the VAST office what they like to come out, that they would like to come out of not in good standing status, present some sort of management plan to the board of directors at a VAST board Zoom meeting. And that's why we extended that invitation in their letter for tonight. And then that would have their outline in their plans to move forward. complete their 2025 grooming analysis and their log sheets if they had not done them. I think one of the clubs had the log sheets in, but the other two did not at that time. And that the request had to be done by September 1st to be considered to be put back in good standing. So that's why, again, we included that in the letter to them because tonight's the last technically board meeting before the September 1st deadline, and they're supposed to come to present tonight. So we covered all the bases in that letter. Cindy, anything from what we've done that you want to add before we move on to clubs, or are you?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I think we're in different places with different clubs. So I think what I have, and I'm going to start at the bottom with Guilford from Wyndham because I received paperwork on that club. So that club did send in their letter. And their letter, it came from Peter, which is, he's on here. And so good thing, Peter, we'll get you done first. That looks like. And he gives his background that he served as secretary and treasurer for the club from 2015 to 2023. And then he stepped aside basically. And it was time for new officers to step in. So he gave a little background on that. Chris, I think, is also on here. He's the current president, and his wife, Christy, is the secretary and treasurer. And the first season he sat with them and showed them, how to do the grooming contract, TMA management, and fast paperwork. So at this point, I'm not going to read the full letter, but if you want it, I can. So moving forward, so this is the management plan part of it, if you will. He's told the current officers that he will take responsibility going forward. So he's going to re-engage in the club for all correspondence and business with VAST. I will also make the commitment to you as you all know, as commitment to you all, as I know you need to know something will change moving forward. This change is I am taking it back over, and I have 8 years of reputation to back up. I will take care of things. So I ask with that commitment that you give the club another chance so we don't make Vernon an incident victim of the situation. And Vernon is on here as well. He also did provide all the grooming logs. So I do have that. And he also did submit the analysis. So that is the Guilford club from Wyndham. So we're going to just start with that one because I have a full package from them. Does anybody have any questions for them to start with?
Can I add a few things?
Yeah, you sure can.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, so the clubs that we're talking about are in the southeast portion of the state. Small clubs, just like the ones that are in Rutland County. The only thing is that I talked to Pete Noble from Guilford a few years ago when he was planning on stepping back and allowing other people to, to take on and responsibility. And he was not aware that things weren't getting done paperwork wise. The other thing to tell you is that Vernon is on tonight. Don Rosinski's on because if Guilford gets shut down, that completely isolates Vernon, who had nothing to do with any of this. And both are, they've got small grooming contracts. They don't get a lot of snow. They trailer a lot because they don't get a lot of snow. And they did send us a plan to move forward and get new volunteers to help with other things. So I'm not sitting here saying one club is better than the other. I'm just saying that, I did reach out to them. Because they didn't know what was going on. Vernon Club was not aware, and and Pete, who's their emergency contact from the Guilford Pit Stoppers, was not aware of the correspondence that we were sending out. So it's kind of last minute. So anyway, but I know the underlying. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of background information of what's going on. Vernon did apply for a small grant for a bridge, which is just waiting for a signature from Ivor, I think. But other than that, they'll be cut off for the winter if we cut off Guilford.
So the motion
And then I
items,
can speak more to the
Okay.
other clubs too, because I don't want
Yeah.
you to think I'm just defending one club over another, because I'm not. These are little clubs that need a lot of help. So anyway,
for this particular club, they did send a letter why they should come out. They are saying who's going to take responsibility, move forward. They did complete the grooming analysis and the log sheets. And they did all this before September 1st. So those were the motion pieces. So for all of you, and I see you, Justin, 1 second. If you want to take them out of not being in good standing, a motion would have to be made by you guys to put them back into good standing based on meeting the criteria of the motion that was set last month. And a majority vote would have to proceed with that motion as well. Dustin, do you have something to say? Or ask?
I was just going to say that it looks like this club has met all of our requirements. They've done everything that we asked of them. So Lamoille's going to make a motion to reinstate them in good standing.
Okay, so this is
That's
for
the-
the Guilford Pit Stoppers, number 3. So Lamoille
Correct.
made the motion to put them back into good standing status.
Essex was second.
And then Essex seconds. Anybody have any questions or comments? Before I call for a vote? Oh, Ivor does.
Does the Hogback Trail connect Vernon over through, or is that something separate?
no, I think the hogback is Jacksonville and Deerfield Valley. I think it's more Deerfield
Okay.
Valley and yeah.
Yep, got it. Thanks.
Anybody else? All those in favor of putting the Guilford Pit Stoppers back into good standing status with VAS? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Does anybody want to abstain? Okay, motion carries for Guilford Club. So those folks that were here to represent Vernon and Guilford, you're more than welcome to stay, or if you'd like to drop, you're more than welcome to drop as well. It's up to you.
I just want to
Okay.
say thank you
Thank you all
much.
very much.
Thank you, and we hope we don't have to revisit this next year.
I'll make sure of that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Bye, guys.
Okay. So now we're moving up to Rutland County. So I will let Mike Stewart pick which one he wants to do first, because I don't have any written documentation on either one of them. Does not mean that I think, where's Mike Stewart?
I'm here.
He's
I know
here.
you're here, but I gotta find your box.
He's down there in Hawaii.
There he
He is. He's in the Caribbean.
Okay,
Okay, so
oh
just,
yeah, and with the palm tree. There we go. Okay, that's easier. So I'll let you pick which one you want to do first, since they're both in your county.
so,
And I'm assuming you're gonna,
so what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna give you a quick, scenario of where we're at with Rutland County. Ed is here tonight.
Ed is from East. If I
Ed-
got that right, Ed, correct? Okay.
Ed's from East. And I don't know, I guess I gotta ask Ed. Ed, did you send anything to VAST yet? You say you've got, I've got a management report here that you sent to me. And you say you've got your groomer financial analysis and all that stuff taken care of. Did you send any of that to VAST yet, Ed?
I did not. I was
Okay, well,
under the
that means,
impression I had till September 1st. So,
You do.
right, right. Okay, but that's all taken care of.
it is. I have it sitting right here. I have it all.
So I do have, Matt and I did get from the grooming log information from that club in the past. So we already have that, Matt. That was when the dispute
Yeah.
resolution was taking place. So remember, it was attached at the bottom. So we do have the logs. It's the analysis that would have to be here by September 1st.
I have that sitting right here.
I know, perfect. I'm just making clarification for Ruth too, that's taking the minutes here. Okay, I'll go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so here's where we're at with East. I mean, I don't know, Ed, if do you want to just go down through the management report real quick? Because they don't have it, so you can tell them, just read it. Just read the lines down through. Because everything's on a bullet point and his correspondence, and we'll make sure that that gets to VAST.
Okay.
Not there yet.
It's on my computer.
Okay, I don't know if we can send it now.
I don't know how to do that. I know it's on when they came in, they're on a Google Docs, and so I filled them out and they're there. And I
Okay,
just have
so
to.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this real quick, just
Okay.
for the directors. List of current club officers. Ed Taub is president and groomer operator. Chip Taub, his brother, is groomer operator. Mike Shaw is the mechanic, and trail signage is going to be done by Ed and Chip, which has been done by those guys pretty much for years gone by. Written correspondence 818, updating all requested information. 2025 grooming analysis and grooming log sheets. I have all grooming log sheets and grooming analysis for 2025. You've got to get those to those guys by 2025 or by September 1st. Management plan. I've recently taken over this position, so my plan is to play an active role in this club by keeping current on all aspects. Next bullet point is brief outline of club's plan to ensure grooming analysis and grooming logs will be completed per the Vast Trails policy guidelines. Confirmation that the club is aware of the due dates for both analysis and grooming logs. And I work hard with every club in Rutland County to make sure that that stuff is done. But once I review the due dates, I'll do my best to adhere to Vast schedule. And I'm gonna say for Ed, he's not gonna do his best. He's gonna get them done. Right, Ed?
Yes.
And if not, you need to raise your hand earlier rather than later so Mike can work with you. Right, Mike?
Exactly. We're here to help. We want all these clubs. Identify who will be submitting the weekly grooming logs for the upcoming season. Ed said he'll be submitting the grooming logs. Identify who will be submitting the season's grooming analysis for the upcoming season. Ed's going to take care of that too. Confirmation from the club that all qualifications for good standing status are followed. That's just a bullet point right there. Club's plan to be successful in the future. My plan for the success of this club is to be in contact and be compliant. And just his comments were, and I'm going to tell you, this is for most of our southern and westerly county clubs. Please keep in mind that we're in a very tricky spot in Vermont. We're held to the same standards as the largest clubs in Vermont. They don't get snow. So it's hard to get volunteers. It's hard to get all the stuff done. But I think Ed with East realizes the importance of this. So that's what I'm going to say for the East Club.
Okay. We're going to stop there then, Mike. Okay.
Yep.
Because we're doing one at a time. Okay. So Ed, the good standing in the trails policy was just making sure your signage is current. We just generically put that in there so we don't have to come back and revisit. And so we're covering all the bases since that status was being changed at that particular time. So I just want to make sure you understand, all that stuff applies here. So, so an option for all of you, and I'll open it up for questions is since if you're content with his management plan, as long as he provides the analysis and a copy of the plan to Vast by September 1st, you can make a motion like that to say, if you agree, under the understanding that he provides the documentation for the analysis and the management plan, because we already have the grooming log sheets, but you could send them again if you want to do one whole package, that you would move them back in if you want to do that. I'm going to open it up for questions, but you don't have to postpone it because we don't have it because they've covered it as long as they send it by September 1st is what I'm saying to you. Okay, so let's see what everybody has to say. Cindy, you want to say something?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm letting Ruth, I'm letting Carol in.
Essex County will make a motion that if everything is in by September 1st, that will put them back in good standing.
Lamoille
Second?
will second that motion.
All right, Essex, and then
Thank
Lamoille.
you.
Anybody, before we do a vote, I want to make sure, does anybody have any questions for the club or the director at this point before I call for the vote?
Please, if
Want to give
anybody's got questions, let us know.
Now's the time, right? We don't want to talk about this anymore after tonight, assuming September 1st is met there, Ed.
It will.
Nobody? Okay, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor with the motion presented by Essex County to put them in good standing, assuming that the analysis and the copy of the management plan is delivered to the VAST office via email is fine by September 1st deadline according to the initial motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Who was opposed? Was that Doug? Or was he just delayed? Doug Jacobs, did you oppose?
No, I said aye. My internet connection went out, Patty.
Okay,
Thanks.
so you're in favor. Okay.
Yes.
Does anybody want to abstain?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really breaking up. Anybody that wants to abstain? All right, motion carries for East, assuming that deadline is met. Mike and Ed, I'm sure you'll work together.
We will.
I would strongly suggest putting Cindy's name on there as well as mine when you send that in, so we're sure that one of us sees it and notifies everybody. We'll send out an email to everybody on the distribution just to let them know that that has been taken care of once we receive that. So you're all know that that motion parried based on the requirements. All right, everybody good with that? All right, now we are on.
Now I'd like to move on to the next club.
Yes, Best. We're on Best, which
This is
is
this is the Bird's Eye Snow Travelers in West Rutland. Unfortunately, I have sent several. I have called and left messages several times. I've sent texts several times. I have not heard anything from this club. And to my dismay, just like Cindy was saying that Vernon was going to get shut off. Actually, if the West Rutland Club doesn't do anything, which they're getting late, it's going to shut off East and Pulteney from getting up into the mountains. I don't know what to do, but I have not heard a word, a peep from any of those folks. So I don't know what to do.
I have a question. Because I'm not looking at the map right here in front of me. And I've only ridden in Rutland County a few times. But does the Best Trails, do they connect to Addison County? Or is it the East Trails
I
that
think
connect to
East-
Addison
I think
County?
East does.
East does, Ed's Club does, okay.
So Pulteney and East could connect through Addison and get up, but I mean, it's going to be limited snow, Cindy. They just
Sure.
don't have much
Yeah,
snow.
no, I understand that. And then Best, is Tim Park part of Best?
No, Tim is safe.
Safe, okay.
Tim is
You
capped.
guys with all your acronyms in Rutland County.
I know.
Safe, Best,
But
East, okay.
West Rutland is the way to get to Chittenden, where you start to gain some elevation. Then from Chittenden, you can go to Pittsfield, you can go to Shrewsbury, you can go to Mount Holly, you can go all those other places. But this
Right.
West Rutland gets you out of the valley.
Well, I would have to say to you personally that this is not a reflection on you. I know that Kurt was working on this prior to you being here too. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm just saying that I understand the predicament as a director that you've been trying, and I appreciate that.
Well, what we're going to do, I mean, with my communications with Patty, she did mention, and we talked about this at the long range planning committee, that you've got to think about a plan B. I can't think of a plan B without the rest of my county. So we're going to have a meeting in September, and I would love to have Patty join us in October so that we can talk a little bit more about a plan B. We've talked at our county meetings, but once again, I mean, every other club is kind of stretched out right now. Every other club around has got older volunteers. We don't seem to be getting any younger volunteers for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because the sports was kind of expensive. But I would be very glad to sit down at a county meeting with Patty and talk about maybe some plan Bs, maybe how we can do it.
So Matt, you do, there he goes. He looks at me. Yes, Patty. You do the grooming contracts in October, correct? For the upcoming season. Is that a true statement or am I too early?
Well, we're actually working on them right now, but
Okay,
usually they go
okay.
in October. We were trying to do them earlier
They go
this
out
year,
in
but
October.
usually
Okay,
October. It probably still will be October. We'll get sidetracked on something else, and yeah.
Okay, but if something comes out with a plan B and we have to move things out of Best into another club, we can still work with you before the season if we have to, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're okay on that. So we also, this club does not connect to Addison. Is that what you asked, Cindy?
Yes, it does not.
The East Club was the one that connected to.
It connects
Okay.
to Chittenden, which is a club, not Chittenden County. He's talking about
Gotcha.
Chittenden, the club.
Okay. So again, to Mike's point, I did offer to come out there and talk to them and help them or guide them. They ultimately, the county decides on what to do with reallocation of the trails. This would be if Best was to close because they didn't meet the September 1st timeline, it would just be if somebody was willing to reallocate some of those. We don't have to do the whole club, just some of those in critical strips, if you will, to another county club's contract. So would not have to go through trails or anything like that because it's just shifting from one contract to another in theory. It's not new trails, it's just new ownership of the trail, if you will. John Hull, you're okay. I mean, you're chair of that committee. I just want to make sure you understood before you can explain it. So it wouldn't have to go that route if that plan B does come with that kind of situation, Mike. Okay. So just so we know, we would have to still work with Matt to
Oh,
do
yeah,
that
I
work,
get
but,
that. Yep.
and the clubs would have to probably provide something in writing saying they agree to take on, or even if you split it up pieces or whatever, and then Matt would make the adjustments to their grooming contracts. So
Yeah,
we do have that option.
yes, and your experience comes from being a county president, because this is more of a county issue, and it's more of a county president helping another county out, because it really does come down to the neighbors in the county, and it is a county issue.
Yep.
And I know that, like I said, before that Kurt was wrestling with this before, and other clubs that are surrounding, and yeah.
So I don't know unless, since none of the motion items were addressed, and Mike Stewart has tried repeatedly to get in touch with this club to help them, if there is any action item at this time, from the board.
I don't think there's an action right now, Patty.
I don't, Stan has a question or a comment. Are you waving, Stan? Okay, he's gonna unmute yourself.
How many members in this club?
I don't have their member count. It's,
Good question.
I will tell you, it's 9 miles of grooming one way. That's all that we're talking about here is 9 miles.
And grooming with a class 3?
4.
4.
One-way grooming is 9 miles. I'm just reading that chart that I had put together last month for you guys.
Yep.
RD 55 to RD 42. I mean, you can look at it after if you're an alternate director for our county too. If you would like to join me with Mike, you're more than welcome to do that too when we go out there to come up with ideas, Stan, since it's, we're, like Cindy said, I'm county president too. So, and we've talked about potential things in our county and what we, as an executive committee, we've talked plan Bs and struggles and things like that. So we've had those types of conversations, though we have not had to implement anything, but we've been down this road before ourselves and for the plan B, just in case kind of scenarios, right? So you're more than welcome to join us, Mike, Stan, when Mike gives me the actual date. Anybody else have a comment? I don't see an action item like Mike. Thank you for confirming that at this time. I mean, when I meet with Mike and his team, we'll provide an update back to everybody. And Matt, if something comes out of that, we will notify you immediately that it has any impact to the grooming contracts. You'll be our first call.
Was that trail open at all last year?
They groomed it, I think, twice.
And we're
I
like
think
said,
the
somebody
other
will
thing
come up-
too is that people need to understand that if they're under scrutiny for stuff, they need to have their signs done too. Like the signing is just as important as filling out the analysis.
I see you,
'Cause
Dustin. Okay. So
Yeah, Dustin has a
after Cindy's
hand
done.
up.
Okay, you want to finish your thought? Oh, okay. I think, I don't know who put it in there, but 64 TMAs was best TMAs last year for somebody, 64 members. Okay, go ahead, Dustin.
All I have to say is that ultimately they still have 6 days. I mean, yes, nothing has happened at this point, but I don't know that there's really much for anyone to decide right now because they still have
No.
6 days that we have given them, correct?
Well, they have 6 days to get an analysis, logs, and notify us. But to present the plan to the board of directors, to call a special meeting, you need 7 days notice according to our bylaws. And today is the 7th day notice to call a special meeting before September 1st.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, I looked it up today.
okay.
Cindy and I were back and forth. I said, let me make sure I got this right before we go into the meeting. So they still have time. We did discuss it. And then I looked, I'm like, earlier today, I said, well, we can call a special meeting before September 1st. And then I looked at the bylaws, and the bylaw says you have to give 7 days notice for a special meeting.
Okay,
So tonight's the deadline. If in theory, if they had a follow up like Ed is doing with paperwork after presenting tonight, he still has till September 1st. But tonight really was ultimately the chance to come to the board to do number 2 on the motion.
Is this the trail up the power line?
Yes.
Man, that's gonna be a killer to lose that.
Yep, it is.
I mean,
Well, we'll hope Plan B. It's 9 miles that somebody takes up on it. Let's just hope when we get together, and we'll keep you guys posted on that. We're not going to solve for it tonight. Mr. Halpin, do you have anything else to add that? Because I'd like to put this
I
to
have my
bed.
hand up. I have my hand up. I'm being
Yeah,
good. I'm
that's why I
listening.
went to you. Yeah.
Okay. I have an idea, and I don't think I need to do a motion right away until everybody hears it. But it stems on what I was gonna recommend at last month's meeting, where we could keep them not in good standings and suspend everything to the end of the season. And what I mean by that is hold everything, all their grooming startup fees, everything we would do financially, all their TMA records, all their TMA sales to the end of the 2026 season, when they would normally be handing in their paperwork again. Let them do as they do it out of pocket this year, keep them in some kind of standings, and then basically at the end of the year, give them the opportunity to regain themselves by turning in all next year's paperwork. And at that point in time, if they were back in good standings, not in suspended standings, they would get all the financials, they would get all the money, and they would be back in good standings.
Well, there is no suspended. There's either good standing or not in good standing, is the way it's written. So there isn't an in between. I see you, Mr. Hall.
Well, we're the board of directors.
Personally, I would like to meet with the county to see if they can come to a solution for those 9 miles first. And
that would all fall into this, Patty. In other words, we could come up with something, whether it's that club.
Well, you can think about it, and then when we come back with whether Mike and the county clubs can come to a solution for those 9 miles or not. If they do, then it's great. And if they don't, then I guess we can open it up for other discussions at that time if you want to. But let's I think we go with seeing what the county can do with those 9 miles. We're not talking 60, 70 miles like some of you clubs have. We're talking 9 miles. Mr. Hall?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we spent so much time on this with this, for this club that, I'm done with it. And I think what you guys are going to do with the county is figure out that plan B. And I think I don't know if you need a motion, but to leave them, and you don't need a motion, just to
No, we're just gonna leave them like that would be, and our word is to come back to you after we meet with the Rutland County crew and see if we can come up with some solution for those 9 miles. Whether it's divvying it up between 2 clubs or one club takes on 9 miles and gets added.
I wouldn't give them another chance. I wouldn't give them another year to come up with anything. We've dealt with this long enough, I think.
And I think to Jeff Halpin, if they were at least responding to Mike Stewart, it would be another story, but they have ignored him. And that's where I say, let's just move ahead with Plan B at this point. And after discussion.
Plan B, because they don't even come to our county meetings like they should. They only come when they want something. So.
All right. So I think at this point,
devastating 9 miles though. That's like losing 105 up in the Northeast Kingdom. It won't get you anywhere down there. I mean, it hurt.
Mike, I hope somebody or somebodies in Rutland County pick up the 9 miles or pieces of it and share the pain of the 9 miles. Like I said, we're not talking 60 or 70, we're talking 9. So hopefully that's what happens, and we will keep you posted, right, Mike?
Yep.
Okay. All right. New business, Cindy, and or Steve Conti, there's a loan guarantee request for Green Mountain Roamers.
Yeah, so actually Matt can talk about that, but I do have the sheet that shows, let me share my screen. I'm sorry, what we've got right now.
It was actually in the board packet too, Cindy, that I got.
It was the
Yeah.
same that was in July. So this is what we have now, and then Matt has in his board packet what their request is, but I just wanted you guys to know, we told you we would always share with you what's out there right now.
So
We
there's
have had no
5
one default.
5 clubs, correct, with loans right now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, only the black, right?
Yep. And then, Matt, do you want to talk about the club?
Yeah, I can jump in. There's actually 2 clubs. I'm sorry, I didn't see that on the agenda. I did not look at it soon enough to catch it, but we have the Green Mountain Roamers who are looking for a guarantee for $20,000, a 5-year loan to purchase a 1999 PB 100. And the second club is the Topsom Ridge Runners, who are looking for $23,327.62 to be exact, for a 4-year loan to purchase a trail paver drag. So those are the 2 clubs that are requesting that we guarantee those loans through Northfield Savings Bank.
And how is their grooming situation every year? Will they be
The Roamers.
either one? I don't care which one you.
So the Green Mountain Roamers used to have a contractor grooming their area, and there's a lot of problems. So he was done grooming. I say problems as in he didn't groom and would say he groomed and didn't groom, and just a lot of nonsense. So we got rid of him, and there was a new contractor that groomed down there a little bit, but he was driving a long ways to do it, and it just wasn't really, he didn't feel it was worthwhile for him, and he really didn't want to do it anymore. So the club was sort of left in a little bit of a situation late last fall. So they purchased a little geo tracker just to kind of keep their trails open and keep them groomed. They have quite a distance to go, all the way from Waterbury all the way over to Worcester. It's a long haul, and it was hard on that little tracker. And so they wanted to move back into like a Class 1 machine, which is what has historically groomed their trail system. So they have good snow. Like in the valley area, it's not as great, but once you start climbing up over the mountain out of Middlesex there, it's pretty good snow. They have decent snow. They're a really active club. Very passionate, go-getters, work hard. So they found an older piston bully. Like I said, it's a pretty old machine, but it's a club just starting out. So buying a $200,000 machine is not something they can do. So they found this machine, and it has 2,900 hours on it. It's an older machine with 2,900 hours, and it's been used at a cross-country ski area for most of its life, privately owned the entire time. So it wasn't necessarily abused by multiple people in a club over the course of its life. So decent machine. I think it'll do well for them at a reasonable price. So
That's $4,000 a year loan.
yeah, so their payment is
Just a rough estimate.
Yeah, annual payment is let's see here. 5,450 is the annual payment. And their startup payment is 7,645. So they're a couple thousand under their startup payment to make these payments. For the roamers. For Thompson Ridge Runners, they also had a contractor grooming over there for a number of years. And I think probably 6 or 8 years ago, they bought their own machine and wanted to groom their own trails. And now they just want to upgrade the drag because their drag, they bought it at the time it was used and half beat up, and they just would like to, they feel the trail paver would do a better job for them and pull easier for some of their terrain. They have some decent terrain. They have decent snow. They're right next to Groton State Forest. So they, get into decent snow there. And yeah, so they're just looking for the 23,000 for theirs. And the payment on that is 7,000. Let's see here. Let's see, there he is looking here. $7,523, and their startup payment is $7,238. So they're actually paying a little bit more than their startup payment to pay for the drag.
I'm assuming the rest of their money's coming from membership or fundraising to make that payment.
Yeah, membership and fundraising. Yeah, yep. And they normally have something over there. I mean, they normally don't get a subsidy over there. So
Mark has his hand up before I ask for a motion.
Yeah, I just wanted to tag on to the roamers. One of the things about that club is they only have one connection over to Worcester, like to the rest of the state, like Matt was saying, but they also offer quite a few miles of high elevation riding that are available to people with good parking access and easy access to large population centers like Chittenden County for early and late season riding. And they've been such an active club. So I just wanted to throw a little plug in there for them. And for Topsom, Matt's right. They get a lot of not overflow traffic, but through traffic and shared traffic with Groton because they do have some decent high elevation riding as well and get good snow. But I specifically wanted to just give a plug for the roamers.
Okay, so if there's no other comments, and if there are, just let me know. But if there isn't, then somebody can make a motion. If they're in agreement on for
Washington
the Green
County.
Mountain Roamers
Do
and
you need a
Topsom Ridge Runners.
motion? Do you need a motion for each club?
I think
yes,
you could do-
please.
You want
We
to
could do
separate that?
each one would be
Okay,
great.
so
Yes.
the first one, I'm gonna call it, and then you can tell me the top sham. I can't say it because I have funny. Thank you. Ridge Runners for 23,327.63 for a 4-year loan for a trail paver drag with a yearly payment of $75.23.
Essex
Are you
County
making that?
make a motion.
You make that motion there, John? Anybody second it? Is
Lamoille will second.
there any other conversations or questions for Matt or I'm assuming, is anybody on here from that club?
Well, I'm the director. If anybody has any questions, but they are a very strong, active club. And I'm going to abstain.
I didn't get that for you, Julianne. All right, anybody else got a question? I appreciate you letting us know though it was your county. All right, all those in favor of the motion to approve the loan guarantee for Topshan Ridge Runners?
Aye.
Say aye. Anybody opposed? Nay? Anybody abstaining?
Me, I'm abstaining.
Okay, motion carries on that one. The second one is for the Green Mountain Roamers for $20K for 5-year for a 1999 Piston Bully 100. The annual payment of $5,450. Who wants to make that motion?
Lamoille will make that motion.
Essex County.
Essex, I call Essex, Ruth. So Lamoille, then Essex.
Anybody
All right,
else here
anybody got-
today?
Pardon?
I was just saying, is there anybody else here today? The other two clubs doing it. Washington's gonna abstain from that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the same line I gave Julianne. Wait your turn now. Anybody got any questions or comments on the Green Mountain Roamers before I call for a vote? All right, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Nay? Anybody abstaining? Mr. Halpin. Washington County. I got you, Jeff. All right, we're good on that? Great. Is Jen here? Yes, there's Jen. All right, so Jen, the annual meeting is a week from Saturday, right?
Yes.
So I asked Jen if she just, go through some logistics here with everybody just in preparation of next week. And Cindy will help along adding in some other information as needed as well. So go ahead, Jen.
All right, give me a second. I'm not as prepared as I like to be for this, but I'm going back to the county text. I worked 10.5 hours today and got home just in time for this. So
We're glad you're here.
Let's see. We got a piston bully and a Tucker dealer coming for groomers. I can tell you which ones if I can get that far back here.
Oh, you don't have to get that detailed for these
All
folks.
right. Okay.
Don't go crazy.
We don't have any snowmobile dealers left in Addison County anymore. The last one closed at the end of last month. So, but we do have CycleWise, and they sell side-by-sides, and they are gonna be there with I think it was a CF Moto display, which, yeah, I have no idea what that is, but they'll be there. I think we got like some repair shop coming as well. He asked if he could set up a booth. We have Ferrisburg is bringing their vintage groomer. And we have a bunch of people from the county that are bringing their vintage snowmobiles. Let's see. So location is Addison County Field Days, which has already been published out there in the Pocket Building. We are setting up on Friday afternoon and be ready to rock and roll on Saturday morning. Food, we got really great caterer. They give us a really good deal. They support snowmobile clubs. We got barbecue pulled pork, chicken, couple salads, baked beans, mac and cheese, cookies. What else did you ask me to provide?
And anything vegan?
Don't listen to him.
Oh,
Jen.
stop. That's not nice.
The good thing
No.
is it's free. Everybody's lunch is free, so there's no lunch tickets, right, Jen?
That is correct. Yes, that's correct. The Pocket Building was very, very reasonable to rent. We got stuff donated. Yeah, we're way under budget, which is great. Hopefully that money can be spent put to good use elsewhere. We're gonna have a 50-50 raffle. The county is to benefit the Jim Gill Memorial Fund, which was the owner of Champlain Valley Motorsports. He passed away 4 years ago, and so his family started a benefit memorial fund, and the county owns that, so to speak. So first prize for that's going to be 50% of the cash, and then we have a neon Arctic Cat sign that's going to be a second prize for that raffle from Champlain Valley Motorsports.
Okay, thanks, Jen. And so some of us are going there on Friday afternoon, like Jen said, to set up late afternoon. The staff will be there, and then early Saturday morning. So registration's at 10, but feel free to show up a little earlier. And the pre-meeting is at 10:30, and we'll be sending you out the agenda. But just so you know that pre-meetings at 10:30 to 10:45, then we're going to do a Vermont Strong Vast volunteer picture like we did last year. before lunch at 11:30. Right?
Yeah, 10:30 to 11:15, right?
Yeah,
Is
I'm sorry,
pre-meeting.
10:30
That's
to
okay.
11:15. And then 11:15 is the photo, and then 11:30 is lunch for an hour. And then we launch into the annual meeting.
Is there a color guard, Jen?
Yes.
Do we need the name of that, Cindy, or no?
Well, Jen will give that to you, but if you want it in advance, yeah, Jen, if you can let us know who the color guard is, like if it's a VFW or something ahead of time, so Patty knows. Because we already have a placeholder for it.
I can find that. I should be able to find that pretty quickly here because that was something that was delegated out to somebody else.
And the meeting itself starts at 12:30. I think I don't have the thing in front of me, so we should be good. Dustin, you have a question while Jen's looking that up?
Who do you want? Or if I can't find that right away, who should I send the color guard to? Patty?
Oh, Cindy, she's putting the agenda
Cindy.
together.
Okay.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll make sure Patty gets a copy of it and everybody else.
All right. I'm looking.
Okay. Go ahead, Dustin.
So I have a question, and it has something to do with annual meeting, but nothing to do with the planning. It's actually about TMA increase. And I just thought about this as we were talking about it, but in my county meeting, it was brought up that, somebody at annual meeting on the floor could say, let's raise TMAs by $5 or $10 or whatever. But then somebody brought up that the bylaws say that the directors are the ones that set that. So how does that work?
Well, you know what, Dustin? We actually talked about this today, just so I understood how this works.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody else that has might bring something up just along the lines of what you just said. So I wanted to be prepared just in case that happens. So they could make a motion, and if it's seconded and voted on, the board of directors would take that under consideration when they go to their board meeting and they actually set the price.
So it wouldn't take place in the budget portion.
Right.
Because the budget is separate. But somebody can say, like, we want to increase TMAs by $5 or $10 or $15 or $100 and make a recommendation to the board of directors. But it wouldn't happen when they're voting on the budget.
And ultimately, even if every single person at the meeting of the membership says, yes, we want to raise the TMA, ultimately it is up to the board to decide if we do that or not.
It's up to the board of directors. Yes. That's the way the bylaws are written.
Okay, thank you.
But,
historically, Dustin, the board takes that direction.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you guys represent everybody in that room in some capacity, so I would think you would take that under consideration.
Yeah,
when
you
were
can
having that
fire
vote.
them or dock their pay.
Yeah. Dock mine too.
Yeah.
Jen, did you find that name or you?
I did. Yep, it's going to be the Addison County Firefighters Association.
Okay, thank you. All right, we appreciate all your work. Go ahead, Jen.
All right, Cindy, I do have a quick question about some of this stuff I'm going to pay for out of the county, and then whenever I'm not, like Pratt's, I'm assuming that somebody will be able to give them a check on that morning when they deliver stuff for the food. Okay.
Yep, I just need to know in advance.
Okay.
So I can have a check. So Jen, just let me know who and how much.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's a good question. All right, so I guess we'll see each other face to face in a week from Saturday. Immediately following the annual meeting will be our board meeting to talk about, Dustin, the TMA increase or not, price, let's just say the TMA pricing. And we're also going to talk about what weekend the $25, the promotional, I call it the promotional weekend will be. So you have time to think about that, talk about it with your clubs and stuff. we will talk about that and vote on that at the meeting after the annual meeting, okay? It's a special board meeting, right after the annual meeting. So stick around, make sure your county is represented, because we will need 2 votes to take place, 2 motions with 2 votes accordingly. So we need our quorum there to do that. So please make sure your county is represented then. All right, you all got a copy of the committee reports. Thank you, everybody from the committees for responding to me. So instead of doing roundtable on that, everybody has a summary of that in their package. Mandy put together hers as well, and I just wanted to say kudos to Grand Isle. Even though you only have 1 club, you still have 100% participation, and Essex County, 100% participation on the chainsaw safety. And everybody else, my understanding from my conversation with Mark Reeves is way more people are taking that than they expected. So that's really great news. So thank you. And in Mandy's report, it's highlighted in yellow to be on the lookout on e-news on 8/27. It's going to be coming out to clubs to remind them if they want to pick up any signs at the annual meeting, they have to place that order by Wednesday, 9/3 at 4 o'clock, the very latest. And then they'll bring the signs to the annual meeting so they can pick them up there. And that saves on shipping for those clubs if they're interested in that. All right, so that's all that. Cindy did send out, just so it's in the minutes, the conversion data today as well in regards to the 3 days and the other passes. Those, when we talk about the $25 weekend, we, take that stuff into consideration too. So you all have that data to review. And I know there was some real positive feedback on that came from everybody. So you all have that email. If you don't have that email, just let us know. Let Cindy know, she'll just re-forward it out, or I'll forward it to you as well. There is December 15th board meeting. We'll be doing our holiday gathering, and it's going to be local in Barry at a hall. So Cindy and the staff have started planning that. If you could just mark your calendars on that one as well. Backside has all the dates that are coming up for the year. Just make sure that your county clubs are aware of all those deadlines. The chainsaw, again, I'm going to reiterate that 8/31. I put as the deadline 9/1. But 8/31, really, if you can get everybody to do that, that would make our insurance company happy. And remember the September 1st deadline for any fiscal year 25 that are not completed. That deadline to get in contact with Matt. So make sure you do that. If you have anything out there outstanding, make sure those clubs do that. Otherwise, the money goes in the pot and gets reallocated out. And we know how that goes. So let them know ahead of time. Everybody clear on that? Clear as mud. All right. Any other questions or comments about anything that we covered? I lost my agenda at this point. No, that's the other side. There we go. Anything else that anybody wants to mention?
Thank you for reinstating me.
Make sure you do what you said you were going to do now.
I got it. It's all right here on this thing. I just got to get it off this and into the real world.
We appreciate you coming on tonight and you being committed to following through before the date, so you go into good standing.
I haven't done any of this yet because I never had to. The last person that did this is not with us, and he kept us in good standing.
There you go. So
Mike Stewart here. If you need help with anything, you let me know. We got to get this in.
You got it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
And I'm happy to help too. So just let me know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patty, too, for running a great meeting.
I know we got through it all. I appreciate everybody being professional and working together. Really, ultimately, we don't want to close trails, but we do have to have, consistency and fairness across the entire association for all clubs. So hopefully we don't have to revisit this next year. Everybody, all the county directors make sure everybody gets everything in, and all the clubs respond to the county directors as well. So if there is any delay, so I appreciate that, and I'm sure you all do too. And we'll see each other a week from Saturday. We're going to go to Jen's party on that Saturday.
All right. Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing
Lamoille
else,
is going to do it again. Lamoille makes a motion to adjourn.
oh,
That's a second.
all right.
You
And
guys
that's
did
it.
all the
Um,
motions.
Good
Sorry.
night. Thank
Good
you.
night. See you in a week.